Welcome to low quality A-Truck tutorials. This is going to be for a fast Umbratia fight. This is a bit of a surprise. Foley and I were working on this and we found where Umbratia's secondary hitboxes are. And GZ makes this painfully obvious. You can see I have hitbox viewer up. And you might see some spheres sticking out there. That is because Umbratia's flying hitbox is still stuck here, waiting for him to fly around. And this just so happens to be the hole where it spawns, right in front of the start of the fight. So the save state is from the start of the fight. That just so happens to be where I left off testing. And you can indeed hit this hitbox very easily. Before I go into the setup for that, just a quick note. If Umbratia flies around, he's going to go around and land in another hole, and his hitbox will be stored there. Quick note that at least in this corner, if he goes here, you can hit it with slingshot by slingshotting here and just spamming the slingshot while targeting, and then that should work pretty well. Just gotta work with his iframes basically. But you're limited by your health and the dusk tunic if you have it or not. Another quick note, I don't know if you can hit him elsewhere, but I imagine you can. Maybe even here, I'm not sure. But anyways, on another quick note, very special. If you're down here on the grid area, nice. If you're down here on the grid area, then the cycles for Umbratia actually stopped. I imagine he's waiting for Link to finish climbing the vines in the original Umbratia fight, or in this case the Great, whatever you want to call it, because he thinks that Link's just in the lava waiting, and he doesn't really have anything to do with that. He just waits for Link to reach a certain height, and then the fight continues. Alright. There is one more note about cycles that I will get to soon. But for now, let's get on to the setup. Jump slash with hammer. Get ISG. Go over here. Get Deku stick out. Might be possible with hammer, but I don't know for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's gotta be 9. I tested it. I don't know how the damage works out, honestly, so maybe it's less somehow, but 9 with this setup, I guess. For glitchless, you could do a jump slash and hit him, or you could just hit him from down here if you want to come up here every time. I don't know if that's going to be slower or faster, though, and with having to go down every time and come back up, you're prone to having him go elsewhere. I will say, however, that you would probably be able to jump slash such that Link lands back on the grate after doing it. I think I did it once or twice, but it seemed finicky, so I didn't continue it. So glitchless could potentially do something similar to this, but it would be much more precise. Moving back onto the setup. So you now have one cycle to land the final blow on him with the jump slash hammer, and only one. Well, unless you want to see him fly around and then come back down. But you only have one, and if you mess that up, then he's going to fly around, and you won't be able to hit him again until he comes back down to end the fight, as far as I know. And to that end, you probably want to start climbing over here to start the fight and get the hammer out early. This will, being closer to the middle, it's more optimal. It's a bit of an early hit. Wait, that's just normal. Oh gosh, it's stuff. There we go. That is what it looks like theoretically. And then sped up, it's going to look something like this. You probably would have jump slashed already, and you probably would have also gotten ISG on the first try, but I suck. Nice hitbox. You might also have Deku sticks out already. So that's 9. I wanted to make sure I could hear him every hit. Otherwise, again, if you go too early, you're just going to have to do another hit. As far as I know anyways. I'm an MM guy. I recommend going to the center. That way you're prepared. Okay, that worked just barely. Got him on the recoil back down and got him. Messed up the first part a little bit, but it worked out in the end. Just a bit slower. Well, there you go, guys. Was Dawn and Dusk released recently? Can I say like happy birthday to Dawn and Dusk? I don't know, honestly. But anyways, there you go. That should speed up glitched categories at the very least. And if somebody's willing to work on a glitchless setup, that will certainly be helpful for glitchless categories. With that, I leave you